linear relation and rate of change. So we have a set of 10 questions here for you. Here in all the questions we have a constant rate of change in our examples, and since the rate of change is constant, all these situations can be represented or modeled algebraically in the form of a linear relation. And the linear relation, as you know, a line, can be represented by algebraic equation y equals to mx plus b. And in this equation, x is the independent variable, y is dependent on x, m is slope of the line, which is also rate of change, and b is the initial position or the value when x is 0. So that is how we define all the variables in our equation, right? Now, in all these questions, what you need to do is write an equation in the form of y equals to mx plus b. That's the first part, and we also call it modeling, algebraic modeling sometimes. And then state the meaning of x and y, correct? So x is always your independent variable and y is the dependent variable. Now in every situation, these variables will have different meaning. You have to give that meaning to your variable, correct? Let's go one by one through these questions. I recommend that in some cases where you feel very confident, you can stop the video, read the question, answer them, and then move on. Listen to my suggestion and do the questions one by one on your own. That will help you to get some confidence, okay? Question number 1. A bank account balance is $5,000 today, but will decrease by $250 a week. So what do you understand here? Let me start with dependent and independent variable. So it says a bank account balance is $5,000 today, but will decrease by $250 a week. So the independent variable is time in weeks. Do you see that? That is the x value. Time in weeks. Every week it decreases by $250. What decreases? Bank balance, the account. Do you see that? That is y. So x is number of weeks, correct? And y is account balance, right? So we'll say amount, right? Amount in the account in dollars, correct? Now further, what is b? The fixed cost. The fixed cost here is $5,000 today, right? We haven't really started on, so it's week 0. So when x is 0, the value is $5,000. So b is $5,000. And what is rate of change? Rate of change is something which is changing weekly. It is decreasing by $250. Decreasing means negative. By $250. So let me write $250 per week, correct? So rate of change is the slope, correct? M value. So that is how we define and understand all the components of this equation. Once we know this, we can write down our equation. So our equation is y equals to minus 250 x plus 5,000. Correct? In next set of questions, we will write these values in tabular forms and then graph it, correct? So if x equals to 0, y is 5,000. That is the initial balance. That's what we understand by balance $5,000 today. Next week, it is going to go down by $250, decreases by $250 a week, right? If I give X as one value, then amount in the bank account will be 5,000 minus 250. After 2 weeks, it will be 5,000 minus 2 times 250. Do you understand? That is how this algebraic equation, a linear equation, represents the given situation. I hope you understand. Now let's move on to question number 2. And we'll do a similar analysis and write down our equation. Question 2. Volume of water in a let me read it again. Volume of water in 1000 liter tank is drained out at the rate of 25 liters per minute. This also gives you both your variables. Liters per minute. Liters is volume, per minute is time, right? So we get to know that X is time in minutes, correct? And Y is volume of water, right? Is volume of water in liters, correct? And what is the fixed value? Volume of water in a 1000 liter tank. If it is totally filled, then the initial value is 1000 liters and is drained out. That means it decreases. So decreases means minus 25 liter per minute, correct? That is our unit time. So that is N, or rate of change. Do you understand? That is why we are saying linear relation and rate of change. So it is drained out at the rate of 25 liter per minute. Do you understand? So we get all these components here, and now we can write down our equation. So our equation now becomes y equals to minus 25 x plus 1000. I hope you appreciate that our variables are x and y. X is the independent variable, y is dependent on this, and we have represented these situations algebraically in a form of linear equation, y equals to mx plus b, where m is rate of change, the slope, and b, y-intercept, is the initial value, correct? Now in each example, x and y have different meanings. X is number of weeks there, and x is time in minutes in question number 2. Y is amount in dollars in question number 1, but is volume of water in question number 2. So the variables can have different meanings, but the base is same. This one is independent variable, y is dependent, and that is rate of change, and 1000 in this case and 5000 in the previous case are initial amounts. I hope you understand and appreciate it. Thank you and all the best.